Today on Clubhouse,
we're not in the studio.
We're not live. So I hope you enjoy this sad attempt at a show.
You like that? You like that?
You're listening to the Clubhouse.
That's CHMR.
Hey, Joseph star! Oh, get in the fast lane, Grandma. The bingo game is ready to roll. Take me to the dance. Kick up your heels. It happened. It happened.
Welcome.
So, like we said, the microphone is not going to be clear at all. It'll be kind of clear.
It'll be good. We've done this before.
Now, we've done a bit of podcasting in our career, and this is the equipment we've used. So, unfortunately, you won't be able to hear all the cool sound drops of music as well as you did when we do the radio show.
I'm sure you don't care. You've come to hear our charm.
Yeah.
You've come to the show for our charm.
That's why you come back every week.
That's why. It's the sports talk and the beards.
There's a bit of... I like doing it here because we're at house right now.
I'm comfortable.
My house. And we're surrounded by a bit of Christmas paraphernalia.
Christmas!
It's Christmas everywhere.
We got a Christmas tree.
We got a Christmas tree.
And there's poker on the TV.
So we won't be distracted at all.
Yeah, don't worry.
So that's not a real sport.
I got a nice cup of Joe.
Got a nice cup of coffee. And we're almost prepared. Not quite, but almost.
All right.
So where this is not live, do you know what we're going to attempt to do this week on the Clubhouse, Josh?
What?
The Clubhouse predicts the future.
Oh!
So, do you want to look at some... Later on the show, let's look at some matchups to see if we can predict from...
That's what we'll do, and I'm just going to come up with the most ridiculous predictions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ridiculous predictions as in all false?
Oh, no, they're going to be true.
Okay. But you're going to...
But they're going to be crazy.
They're going to be bold.
Oh, yeah.
Like predicting a Hail Mary pass in Detroit.
Or like John Scott's going to score like 6 goals tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm. Tell us about the Hail Mary pass. We were watching some of this earlier in the night.
I think
across the week. Yeah. It's a big topic.
I think I said to you earlier, I'm like, that's one thing I really like about watching the Green Bay Packers.
Mm-hmm.
Is they have the distinct ability that when they look like they're out of the game,
yeah,
to just somehow find a way to come back and win. And you saw it yesterday, like on the last play of the game, they won it on the throw, like on the touchdown catch.
Mm-hmm.
It was done. And how many yards was that throw? Was it like it must have been 70 yards?
He threw that around 70 at least, because it was around
at least. You
saw the number 30 and the number 20 on the field.
It was a rocket of a throw.
So if anyone saw it, they're like, okay, this is a Hail Mary. This is your typical Hail Mary to end the game. No coverage though, all the same. Yeah. No coverage. He had a nice clean.
He got out. He got out. Yeah.
But
I think though they knew that it was the end of the game. I think they didn't really worry so much about defending him per se as making sure they had enough people in the backfield.
Yeah, everyone's used
because they were expecting that Hail Mary pass at the end of the game. It was the only way they could have won it.
Right. Like any other team would. I mean, that's the last play you do in football when you're in the possession of the football.
Yeah. So you try to make that last throw.
If you have the attempt, if you have the leeway to win the game,
yeah,
which was the case there.
Now I think
a touchdown would win the game, and did win the game for them.
I think they already lost the Lions this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they played twice. I think that's the second game they won. They've had a really weird season. It's been such a weird football season.
Good or a bad way?
Both.
Yeah.
I don't know. In a bad way. I'm going to be negative first.
Oh, negative, Josh.
Negative Nancy over here. That's what I get every time. Anyway, no.
Every time.
It's the injuries that have made it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Negative, like weird negatively in a bad way.
Especially the Dallas Cowboys.
Hurt. Well, Dallas Cowboys are feeling it.
Seahawks are a bit banged up. Ravens are super banged up. Steelers were a bit banged up.
Everyone. Packers are even banged up.
Mm-hmm.
I could tell you right now, if they were fully healthy, they could be the best team in the NFL right now. But they haven't. They haven't been. They've been missing a lot of key players, especially, most namely, Jordy Nelson.
Right. Jordy.
The best players in the league.
Next up on the schedule for them is the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, that's going to be exciting.
The Dallas Cowboys. So this is your playoff rematch, but it's not really much of a rematch with all this banged up going on.
I think Romo's hurt, isn't he?
Is he?
Did he get hurt again?
Yes, he did.
He got
He's out for the
re-injured.
season, I believe.
Well, that's it, because that's
it
for the Cowboys.
That's a write-off.
That's just sad.
They're 4-8. The Packers are 8-4. So complete opposite records right now. And the Packers and both teams should be better. That doesn't reflect the full strength of both of those teams in any way, shape, or form.
No, not at all.
No,
not at all. Do you think that the Panthers will
go undefeated?
Yeah,
win it all.
4 more games.
4 more. Wow.
4 more games. They're 12-0. There's only 16.
Yeah, that's true.
4 more games.
I'm just internalizing it here now. 4 more games. Well, you know what? Let's take a look at their schedule, Josh.
Yes, I am not entirely sure what the stats are on that. How many teams have done it? I think the Pats have. I'm pretty sure the Pats have.
The Carolina Panthers schedule is, let's see, the Falcons, the Giants, the Falcons again, and the Buccaneers. So, who poses a threat? The Giants?
Oh no, they're going 16-0.
That's cool to think about.
Yeah, I think it's gonna happen. A perfect season.
Kill Cam. I like Cam.
No, Cam Newton. You know what? I think he's gonna walk away with the MVP this year.
Yeah, for
definitely.
Sure. Definitely. Killer Cam.
Without a doubt.
Hopefully you'll see some dancing at the Super Bowl if they make the Super Bowl. You will see dancing if it's Cam Newton making some touchdowns. Without a doubt. Should we take a break?
Yeah, I'd say.
Alrighty. Well, on this home edition of the Clubhouse, we will talk to you in a bit.
We can't tell you what song we're going to play you because we don't even know yet.
We don't know.
It's in the future.
And you can tweet in, but guess what? We won't respond because we're not even in studio right now, if you're listening. Anyways, thanks for listening. We'll be back in just a second.
Bye.
Are the most exciting sequences of plays.
You're listening to the Clubhouse.
Welcome back to the Clubhouse at Home Edition, where we're not live in studio.
Hello.
Feel free to follow along as you always do, as the 8 people already do that follow our Twitter.
There's 8,
or maybe there's 7.
Oh.
Either way, if you're out there and you want to be that 8th person, Clubhouse CHMR.
Join. Talk some baseball.
We can talk some baseball, yeah.
I really want to talk about Greinke.
Okay.
Signed with the Diamondbacks.
He did.
Do you know the figures afterwards for that? What was the deal?
Look it up right now.
Yes.
It was the biggest total deal in baseball for a pitcher. I don't know if it's
Wait. So did he That's what I was going to ask you. Did he overtake
Price?
Price?
It's 206.5 6-year deal.
Oh, he did. He definitely did.
That's a big deal for the young California-looking guy. Not sure where he's actually from, but that's a big money contract right there. The Diamondbacks released their uniforms this week. They have 8 different uniforms. 8.
It's a cash grab. They got to pay for Greinke.
Yeah, that's true.
They want all the fans to buy one of each,
or at least one. So they're trying to make at least one cool jersey. And looking at them here now, they're not that great.
No, not a fan.
I never did like the Diamondbacks logo, anyways.
Mm-mm.
It's just like it's an A, like with a snake skin. This is really dumb.
This is what this has become.
Our team is named after a snake. We're from Arizona, so let's just combine the two. That's all you get.
Nice it right there.
That's all you get. Too much has been made, I believe, about a quote.
Yes.
David Price said. David Price, in his first press conference as a Boston Red Sox, he mentioned someone brought up the whole playoff David Price issue about him not being able to perform in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And he fired back with, maybe I didn't want to win. Something along these lines. Maybe I didn't want to win a playoff game until I was with Boston. And everyone's like,
really?
I mean, that's obviously Like, he doesn't think that in his head.
No, definitely. It had to have been like a miscommunication.
Like, all it is something to fire up the crowd and get him excited about him being there. That's all it is. Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, he's all for Boston.
He's all about I think he's all about being the fan guy in whatever city he's in.
And I mean, for Toronto to believe that Toronto, a lot of
they're going to be sour.
Blue Jays fans are just they can't let go right now. They're a bit sour about the whole thing, and there's been a bit of trash talk about his whole playoff performances, like which you never heard with him signing here.
Yeah.
So once he's gone, everyone's all jumping on him about him. He's going to be useless to you guys anyway, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Well,
like I said, the only way that he can live up to that contract is by winning a World Series for Boston. It's the only way it's going to happen. If they don't, then it's the same with Greinke.
Yeah.
It's the only way they're going to live up to that.
It's a lot of money. A lot of money. I don't know if they're not going through any big financial deals in the next while, are they? Because I don't think there's been...
What, like the MLB? Or
yeah, that brings in...
More revenue.
I don't think so.
I'm not too sure.
I really don't know.
I don't really follow the business side of it.
That's usually the case with when you see more money being put into contracts, because the NBA had a new TV deal not too long ago, and that's where you see these big money contracts with Anthony Davis and Jonas Valanciunas getting big money, bigger money than expected.
You even see it in the NHL, right? After the collective bargaining agreement, after the last lockout, and the amount of money, the amount of revenue they have in the new deals, the new TV deals,
right?
That there's a lot more. You see the salaries kind of skyrocketed, and now I think the two highest paid players in the NHL are Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane.
Mm-hmm. But Patrick Kane, I mean, those are definitely two guys that deserve it.
Well, see that, but you can justify that. Teams do that all the time, right? You can justify that if you had a player that's a star guy, right? Mm-hmm. And he's already won the team a championship. You're kind of off the hook a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's where the pressure comes from. Like teams like I don't know, just a random like Toronto. Toronto, throwing that money at David Price.
Yep.
If Toronto if they did win the World Series last year, they could have thrown that money at David Price and re-signed him, and everyone would have been happy about it, and it would have been it, and you wouldn't hear any complaints, and he could play out the rest of his career with Toronto. But it's more of a risk, because I don't think now with that money after a team, I don't think you win. Throwing that much money, allocating that much of your cap expenses. Now, I don't know how it works in baseball as much, but with the whole,
there is no cap, right?
The amount of troubles that Chicago has gone through. You're given a budget,
right?
Yeah, the amount of troubles that Chicago has gone through financially. Well, not when it comes to revenue, but I mean like cap issues, right up against the cap after re-signing Toews and Kane and their contracts kicking in. They're barely able to pay anybody else.
Yeah.
And they have some of their top players on very, very cap-friendly salaries. Duncan Keith makes, I think, 5 points. His cap hits annually $5.75 million.
Right.
He has won a Norris Trophy. I don't know how many. He might have won multiple ones. I don't know. But
here's one thing. If I can butt in for a second.
Yeah.
You gotta... Players that are willing to down their contract to get a better team on the go, I like that.
Yeah,
it doesn't happen too often because
that's why I can't really knock LeBron in the NBA.
Yeah,
because he's known to do that, is he not?
I think Dwayne Wade did it for LeBron.
Yeah, keep him there.
So I'm not sure if. One thing LeBron did this week, he signed a lifelong deal with Nike.
Oh,
lifelong. So if you're asking me how that works, I have no idea.
It expires when he croaks. That's about it.
But I don't think any financials have been released on it yet, but when they do, they're going to be colossal. Guarantee you. Because Kevin Durant signed I believe, 6-year, $30 million, something like that, with Nike, and but he's with Nike for his life.
Just imagine the commercials 60 years down the road.
Ancient
LeBron's 90 years old doing slam dunks with the new Nikes.
They're going to be great. That's a lot of money, though. It's going to be a lot of money. If it's coming from Nike, a shoe company for a basketball player, you can guarantee it's going to be a lot of money. But back to the whole salary cap
Yes, I like this talk. I like talking about it because it's really interesting. And like I was saying, like Duncan Keith, as a comparable player, you'd put him in the same level as PK Subban, Erik Karlsson. I'd say you do. Shea Weber, the top defensive guys. They carry the defensive load for their teams. When he was hurt just 2 months ago, that team had a really hard time transitioning without him. And I think they were really mediocre. Chicago was. They were still scoring, but it wasn't the same. They weren't as reliable. And the fact that his cap hit's only $5.75 million, and you know why that is?
What's that?
He signed that deal before the collective bargaining agreement was in place, before the lockout, the NHL lockout happened. They signed him to a big, I think it was like a 15-year contract. Threw that money. At the time, that was big money in the NHL. At the time, $5.75 million, that's big money anyway. I'd love to be making that right now.
So, if you hear us trash talking $5 million, don't take
I'm not trash talking it. But now...
If you're listening, Gary Bettman.
Yeah. For what was a premier salary for a player in 2007 or 8 or whatever year he signed that contract at $5.75 million. And now I might be off by maybe a decimal point or something with the exact figure of his cap hit. But anyway.
Yeah.
Now you got players like Patrick Kane and John Toews making $10.5 million cap hits. Mm-hmm. And then you also got PK Subban, who's now the highest paid defenseman in the NHL. I think he's got 8 or 8.5.
Yep. And see, this is where you get the things too, like a contract with a certain amount of money isn't set in stone because in baseball with Josh Donaldson, if you sign a guy that isn't an MVP at the time you sign him, and obviously that was a weird deal anyways, because Toronto, people got ripped off in that deal. It's obvious. Because Josh Donaldson carried them to the playoffs and all that kind of stuff. But he's up for arbitration now, and he can negotiate more money in those years.
Yeah.
Right? So his contract isn't set in stone.
See, I'm really curious how the MLB ones work like that. Because that doesn't exist in the NHL. Your duration of your contract lasts until the final year, and then after that, it depends on what your free agent status is.
Yeah.
So if you're...
So this is why you see people in their last year of their contract overperforming. Because they're like, this is what you're going to get if you buy me. Yeah. Right? You see that in the NHL a lot. But I'm really, I'm confused about what you were saying, like with Donaldson. Yeah. Because he still has term. Yeah. On his contract. So he's going to be with them for however many years. I don't know how many it is. I'm going to say 2 or 3.
2 or 3, which is nice.
Something like 3.
But you're saying he can still negotiate.
Yeah.
More years on top of that.
I'm not really sure how it works either, but like if you look up his contract online, it shows the next couple of years are arbitration years, and not quite sure what that means.
So it must be, I think it must be the equivalent, the baseball equivalent to like a restricted free agent in the NHL. Yeah. So the rights are retained by the team. No other team can sign that player. Mm-hmm. So they have exclusive bargaining rights, and that's it. Right. And then they can work out a new contract, unless they trade the rights to another team.
And the good thing is, he said during the process that there's no bad blood between the organization and him. Mm-hmm. It's just, this is a part of the baseball process. We go get these things done. This is me in the business. It's not me and the team and me in the city. Right? Yeah. There's no bad blood.
And Donaldson said that.
Yeah,
I like that.
And he said before that he loves Toronto.
He loves Toronto.
He has no trouble spending his career here.
I like that too.
Unlike certain people.
Tulo.
The
unfortunate thing about Tulo though is I think he actually does have full term on his contract. He's got like 4 years left.
Yeah, I love that guy though. Like he plays awesome. I have no beef with him as a player. He's one of my favorite players on the team, but. Man, he better get his rep back up with those Toronto.
Where is he? Where he was from? He came from Colorado, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand why he doesn't like Toronto.
The weed.
Is that?
But like,
hold out Tulo. We just got a new prime minister.
But like, I can't see why you'd want to stay with a team that's struggling. Like, Colorado are not going to be a team that wins a championship anytime soon. He's just too comfy there. Like, he spent the most of his career there, and he just doesn't want to move. He doesn't want to take... What I gather from that is he doesn't want to take his career to the next level.
I feel like That could be a good and bad thing, because maybe he'll change his mind once he does cave and actually move to Toronto, and he'll never want to leave Toronto.
Yeah.
He's just one of those people, I think, that maybe just settles in and doesn't want to... He's a lifer.
It's not like he was living anywhere extremely warm before.
That's what I was thinking.
Right? Like,
that was my first thought.
Yeah, like, is it the heat? No, can't be.
No. Well, from Colorado.
Yeah, you're
Colorado
in the mountains.
by.
You're a mountain boy.
You're a mountain man. He lives in the mountains.
I don't know why it dropped.
I like it.
I really hope that some of these drops can be heard, because we don't have our intricate setup. This is the Clubhouse.
CHMR 93.5.
If you want to follow us on Twitter,
University.
always feel free at Clubhouse CHMR. Shall we take a break?
Oh, I sure.
Can you repeat that?
Oh, sure.
Back in a minute, folks.
Yes, boy.
But seriously, is primarily concerned with entertainment.
You're listening to the Clubhouse.
Back again. You're listening to Clubhouse Home Edition with me and Josh.
Home edition.
We're not live, but we're doing our best.
Man, we're doing wicked.
I think we're doing pretty good. We're entertaining the people out there. We're trying our best to do that.
We're doing fine.
If you don't think we are, tweet us in. Actually,
Tell
you know
us.
what? Don't tweet us. Just stop. Just stop listening to us all together.
No, don't do that. The funniest thing is now you'd be like, oh, just tweet us. We're not going to get this until tomorrow.
No, so you can tweet us. We'll
Tweet us.
We'll
It'll
read-
just be delayed.
No, we'll kindly read all the tweets. It's just our response is going to be a bit funny because we're not live. That's all. Last week we officially started a new segment, and we're going to do it again this week. So this week in
Controversy.
Controversy. Jack Warner,
former FIFA president, I believe, was
vice president.
vice president,
Yeah.
was confronted by a reporter on the streets of, I believe it was London, and he didn't take kindly to being approached by that reporter.
Asking him corruption-related questions.
Yes, because this man, for anyone who doesn't know, was banned for life by FIFA
Yeah.
in September because of corruption, and that was the big story. Not last year.
Is it the U.S.? It was last year. Was it?
It was last year now.
Yeah, or was it this year? Earlier this year? It was earlier this year.
Yeah.
And he. What was I gonna say?
A lot of money issues.
Oh yeah, no. He's also being. There's the chance of him being extradited to the States on bribery charges.
Oh, well, there you go.
He faced a lot of years in prison. Him and Sepp Blatter. Sepp Blatter was the former president.
Right.
Both of them are up on a lot
For
of.
some reason, I thought he was still there.
Sepp Blatter?
Yeah.
I think he stepped down now.
Okay.
There was a really funny moment after all this blew up,
Yep.
and they called for a re-election or a new election
Right,
for new
yes.
president. And he was given, I guess he was given not a speech, but it was a kind of like a press conference.
Yeah.
And not too famous. I don't know, the comedian's name escapes me, but he walked up to him and just showered him in money.
Yes. Didn't they re-elect him though? All the same.
They did, but I'm not sure if he's already stepped down or if he is going to.
Like, now who is involved in this re-election? Like, who gets those ballots? And who looks at this and is like, I guess there's a couple ways to look at it. One, you're re-electing a guy that's corrupt. Two, he recognizes his mistakes, so we're going to give him another chance.
What I think it wasn't even either of those. I think it was before all of the controversy with all the corruption was kind of like... Exactly. It was before it was all actually official. Like, at that point in time, it was all kind of allegations. And in those moments, you usually see people that are in those... If they know they're in trouble, they kind of step down.
Right. Yeah, to avoid the heat.
So, yeah, same kind of thing happened. He got reelected. I think it has a lot to do with the way FIFA's been very corrupt for a long time. Mm-hmm. I think it has a lot to do with the money that's been changing hands behind closed doors.
It's just, I suppose, right now is where we actually got something concrete to go by.
Right? I'm pretty sure that Sepp Blatter's also banned for life.
Mm-hmm.
But there's other people that are within FIFA that are going to run for president, and they've already run against Blatter too. So It's a lot of the same faces.
So back to the clip. What was he said? There was a mother joke in there.
He said your mother.
Tell your mother.
Tell your mother. Or
ask
something.
your mother.
Or ask your mother.
One of those two.
Ask your mother.
But that was his response to one of the reporter's questions. And the reporter stated to him, which was true. He said, "I'm only approaching you with, I'm approaching you in a nice reporter way.
Yeah.
In a respectable way, asking you a couple questions." Then again, he could have handled it differently. Maybe less insults. He did threaten to spit on him.
He was also quoted as saying, "If I could have spit on you, I would have spat on you."
Why didn't he do it? But okay, again, there's two ways to deal with it. One, don't say anything. That's probably the best way to go.
Yeah.
Two, insult his mother. That's probably not the best thing to do.
Not a very nice man.
It'll get you on TV. I'll tell you that much. If there's a camera on it, you'll be on TV if you insult this poor reporter's mother.
Oh my gosh.
That's not great. And this is kind of the same sort of street stuff we were dealing with last week in controversy with Jalil Okafor.
Yeah, Okafor, yeah.
It's just not being intelligent on the street, not thinking about what you're doing. Because you're going to catch a lot of flack for stuff.
Now, mind you, this guy's peak years and whatever he's been doing is probably already passed him by. He's up for jail time.
And he has a lot of bribes in his pocket.
He's got a lot of money, but he's probably going to end up going to jail. There's a good chance of it.
Right, so there's a difference in career trajectories to be considered. One, a guy that's basically fired, but retired.
Yeah.
And two,
and retired on shame, right? Stepped down because they were caught. They were caught. Bribery, it's...
Yeah. And two, a guy in a rookie season. So it's a bit of a difference.
See, and this guy, Jack Warner's got no excuse.
No.
How old is he?
Jack Warner?
He's ancient.
He's ancient.
He's been involved with FIFA for the last 30 years.
There you go.
He has no excuse. Okafor is a rookie. He's still a teenager.
He hasn't been alive for 30 years.
He hasn't been alive for as long as Jack Warner's been working for FIFA.
So there you go. That has been This Week in...
Controversy. There's
been a bit of sad news that has graced the NHL. And that is related to blood clots and a young man who will not be playing hockey anymore. Bit sad news.
What's the name?
What is the name?
Give me the name.
Pascal Dupuis?
Dupuis. Yeah, Pens lost Pascal Dupuis to retirement officially.
Yeah, that's sad.
It is a shame that... Now, this is unrelated. I shouldn't even go here from this because we should be talking about Pascal Dupuis' career, or the end of his career. He was a very lucky... he was very lucky to have played with Sidney Crosby.
Yeah.
He got to do that for many years. But mind you, this team, the Pens... There's been a lot of issues like this with this team.
With the Penguins?
Yeah. Not conventional injuries. They're kind of shrouded in controversy a little bit. Not in the same scale as Jack Warner and the whole FIFA thing.
Right, yeah.
But in the sense that the teams kind of run really funny. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of talk about whether or not Sid's happy in Pittsburgh, or if there's locker room turmoil and stuff like that.
What's his contract at now?
Oh, he's a lifer in Pittsburgh. I don't think he ever... he makes $8.7 million a year, which is his number.
Yeah.
But I'm not, and it's also his birthday. Did you know that?
No.
His birthday is August 7th, 1987. 87.
Now, clashing with one number, you can kind of say okay, but with two, was that contract on purpose?
Oh, definitely.
Did they That's kind of silly if that's the case. I'm gonna match this number with your birthday.
He was probably because they were probably working him down. Right? He was probably I'll settle for 8.7.
I'll settle for 8.7, and then it can match with my jersey.
And then that's funny.
Then that's funny. That's just silly.
Yeah, but the other thing too is Chris Letang.
Yeah,
their top defenseman. He's had similar issues too. Mm-hmm. He had a stroke.
Not good.
Right. So you're thinking
stroke, as opposed to guys like Connor McDavid who are breaking their collarbones on the ice.
What's next now? Yeah, exactly. What's next now? Phil Kessel's going to have a heart attack for eating too many cheeseburgers.
Oh!
Oh! Bill Kessel joke.
7-1, shots fired.
Shots fired. I had to, though.
He's not going to be punching anyone on the streets, though.
No.
Not like Jalil Okafor.
No, not at all.
His punishment got released. He's out for 2 games.
Okafor?
Yeah.
Really?
No, I thought that's... Now, punishment was deserved either way. It's
Yeah.
obvious, but 2 games seems a bit small to me.
Oh, that's...
I'd go 5 or something like that.
I feel like as a first offense. I think it's what it's
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
They're gonna think about it more on a first offense. If that was like a second or third time of that happening, it'd
Repeat
be a
offender,
lot
yeah.
bigger. The sports leagues do that a lot. You see it in the NHL a lot with headshots.
Yeah.
And you'll get suspended for a headshot, and a first time offense is usually really, really, really like lax. You kind of get your warning, and they're like you lose 1 game or 2 games. But if you were a repeat offender, you'll lose a lot.
And I guess that makes sense too, because if you haven't been dinged with something like that in your career, you're kind of absent-minded about the whole thing.
Yeah.
So you're gonna play, and like it'll happen. And in football, like head-on-head tackle, something like that, something that'll get you suspended.
Yeah.
And it's not really on your mind, but once it's there and you get fined or suspended or whatever it is, it's going to be on your mind in the game, and you'll know not to do it anymore.
I'll put it in perspective. This season, at the very beginning of the season, Rafi Torres of the San Jose Sharks was suspended. He's a repeat offender. I think he's been suspended for kind of questionable hits. Mm-hmm. Not kind of. They're definitely questionable hits.
Definitely questionable.
Probably 3 times. This might be like a 3rd or 4th time that he's gotten a suspension for it. He got suspended 41 games.
Whoa!
He got suspended half the season. He hasn't played a game yet. So that's how seriously they take these things, and it's always about like the repeat offender. If that was his first offense, that same hit, he probably would have got suspended maybe 2 games. But he got 41 because he's also famous for throwing a dirty hit in the playoffs when he was playing for Vancouver. Mm-hmm. And then went on record afterwards saying, I'm not going to change how I'm playing. Like, I'm not going to change my game.
Right.
Because he's known to be a big hitter.
Yeah. Something I probably should have added to This Week in Controversy.
Yeah.
Now, this comes to the point, you know how we usually, on the show, we bring up some of these issues and you can laugh about them. But this, honestly, it's not that funny. It's just, you got to stop doing this kind of stuff. Tyson Fury.
What did he do now? What did he do now?
He said a couple things. I'm not even going to say them because it doesn't deserve to reach the airwaves. But he said some very misogynistic things about women are only good to do certain things. And I'll let you
said that, right?
Either use your computer or imagination.
You can look it up yourself.
We're not going to say it. And listen, this is a title that used to have a lot of prestige.
Yeah.
The World Heavyweight Champion of the World, or the World Heavyweight Championship, is a big deal. Was a big deal.
This was a title that was once held by Muhammad Ali.
Exactly.
This was a title that was once held by George Foreman.
you got Mike Tyson as well.
Joe Frazier,
But Mike Tyson wasn't a respectable character, really, when he won the championship. But either way, I mean, you're being compared to guys like Muhammad Ali, like you said. So you got media all over you. So it's your job to be respectable. This seems to be a theme of the show. Keep your mouth shut if the cameras are on you. Jalil Okafor, Mr. Warner. Don't do these things.
I don't care what you think, but when you're in the sports business, it's a blessing.
Yeah. Especially if you're a boxer.
If you're complaining
because just there's so many boxers out there. There's no league in boxing.
Yeah.
So if you have the opportunity to fight for a championship and you win it, and you're the champion, you're blessed.
Yeah. It's hard to get there.
Yeah. I can't believe I said blessed on the show.
I said blessed too. Yeah, I said it first.
We feel blessed.
We both said it.
We feel blessed to be on these airwaves.
I feel blessed. I'd like to thank Jesus.
I'd like to thank
for all the opportunities that have been afforded to me.
I'd like to thank me ma.
Me ma. Me mother, me fatter.
You're listening to the Clubhouse. Follow along at Clubhouse CHMR. We're going to do something cool right now. As you know, if you've been listening to the whole show, We're not live. This is a recorded version.
Yeah, we couldn't.
So, guess what we're going to do right now?
The Clubhouse predicts the future.
Before we start this, let's name that chap. What is his name? What is the
our
sound
guy?
Yeah, what's his name?
Hyde.
Like Jekyll and Hyde?
Or Claude.
Claude.
I like Claude.
I like Claude too. Or Claude.
Claude.
Like a French version.
Yeah. But he doesn't say we.
he doesn't sound French at all.
You'd have to change the voice.
So, are we gonna sleep on it, or is it gonna?
I think so, but I would really like a name like that.
Yeah, we're gonna come up with something for him.
Unless we want to like just call him like Tim.
Bill. That's Bill.
Bill. Bob.
Yeah, we're gonna sleep on it.
All right.
Guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna predict the future. This is where we're not live. We've recorded this. If you're listening to it now, yesterday.
Yes.
So we're going to predict what happens tonight.
Oh no! Well, yeah, we were gonna predict, but
Yeah.
But what we're actually doing is telling you what happens.
Yes. Yeah, we're telling you what happens.
Because this will be on the air at.
This shows how skilled we are.
So last night in the NHL on Tuesday.
What happened?
Because that was last night, not right now.
What happened?
Chicago beat Nashville 11-0. And Patrick Kane broke the record for most points in a game with 11. He was in on every goal.
Okay, now seriously, what happened?
But that's
what happened?
That's what happened.
That's what happened. Check
That's
the
what
news.
happened.
That's what happened. Last night, guess what happened?
Yeah.
Paul George of the Indiana Pacers
Yeah.
put up 90 points against the Warriors. And the Warriors are no longer undefeated.
Oh!
It was a shame to see them lose their streak. Listen, they had a good run.
It was historical. It was historical.
And listen, he completely overshadowed Kobe Bryant with that 81 points. He scored 90. Kobe Bryant...
Is that the record in a game right now?
Will Chamberlain scored 100. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. But
I love that name. That should be the name of the dude.
Wilt?
Wilt.
Yeah, that's not bad. Wilt
He's
is good.
Wilt.
I'm going to give you a serious prediction here now.
Yeah?
The Warriors defeat the Pacers 108 to 104. There's my prediction.
All right. I like it. I can dig it.
I'll give you another one after you give me one.
All right. Arizona and St. Louis.
Okay.
NHL. St. Louis takes them 4-1 on 2 goals by David Backes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can dig
I like.
that.
I think David Backes is in for a big night tonight, and he has another big game of hits. He had one earlier this season where he hit 12 people.
So if you don't have them, pick them up.
Fantasy hockey.
He threw 12 hits.
Here's another prediction for you. Listen, it hasn't been a great season for the Houston Rockets thus far, considering their position last year. So,
Houston, we have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But they're recovering now.
You really wanted just to use that.
That's pretty much it. I tried to come up with something to say beforehand. And
That's all.
I've been wanting to say it the past couple of shows, but I was like, I gotta get it out of the way. So I'll just go say something stupid and drop the sound drop. So it's been dropped, and the Rockets are going to beat the Nets 95 to 90.
Ooh.
Yeah. Now, if that doesn't happen, I'll be kind of sad because the Nets aren't in a great position right now.
All right. Because it's Wednesday, and last night was Tuesday, Toronto lost to New Jersey 3-2.
Who was the star in the game?
No one.
Who's the big? No one.
Because
won.
neither of these teams have notable firepower.
James Van Riemsdyk put up 3.
James Van... He put up 3 and Toronto only scored 2.
Yeah. One he thought went in, but it actually went in his net. And that's where one of the
That's what it is.
goals came
Own
from.
Own goal.
Yeah.
Maybe Camilleri. I say Camilleri. Camilleri is the hero in overtime.
Yeah.
3-2 game. But Corey Schneider shuts down the Leafs pretty much. They have a really good game. They had a really good game. Put 40 shots on the net. But Corey Schneider's the boss.
If you're joining us last minute, this is us saying not what has happened. We'll admit to you. It's what we think is going to happen. Because this is a delayed show. And this is us attempting to predict the future. So far, we have predicted the Warriors to win over the Pacers. That's an easy pick. I should have picked something more difficult to pick.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the Pacers are a bad team. But
the Pacers over the Warriors?
No. I said the Warriors over the Pacers.
Oh.
Now, I was joking first, but...
No, you got to stick to your guns.
Okay, fine. The Pacers win. Warriors. Log it.
Just imagine if you're, like it happens.
Paul George is a great player. It could happen. But, yeah, it could happen. Let's go with the Pacers over the Warriors. They win 96, then the Warriors 96-94. That's what I'm picking.
So tight.
And the Rockets over the Nets 95-90.
You know that Steph Curry would not let that happen.
What's that?
A 2-point game.
A 2-point game? Yeah,
No.
he just run on the other side
He
of the
would just
court.
run on the other side,
Drain one.
3-pointer. Done.
Effortless 3.
Yeah.
Not even pull up at the perimeter. Pull up 3 feet from it.
Yep.
And you predicted, what was it again? Toronto and Arizona?
Chicago, Nashville. 11-0 for Chicago.
Yeah.
Patrick Kane with 11 points.
This is serious prediction.
Patrick Kane wins the Art Ross Trophy tomorrow.
And
Yeah,
it's
just
like they're gonna
scoring.
have an early ceremony just for him.
Just an early ceremony, give him some high fives.
And they're gonna put Patrick Kane's head on it with a mullet.
Yeah, and maybe he'll maybe he'll actually get to be on the video game cover this year.
That's kind of a shame.
Yeah.
Because his year was...
Controversy.
Or not even hit the beginning of the year.
No, it was
before the
literally
season.
just before the season started.
And it's such a shame because like he was on the cover of the game. They had copies printed.
Yeah.
And poor old EA.
Notice that all this
Watch your profanity.
I got it.
all this stuff, it all came in around the same time that he actually had the best run of form.
Yeah.
It was like he at the end of last season, or towards not even the end of last season, before he went down with the collarbone injury, before he broke his clavicle.
That's your doctor voice.
Yeah, that's my clavicle. Before he broke his collarbone.
That's not going to offend any med students.
No. They won't get offended. They're going to make a lot of money. Before he broke his collarbone, he was the top player in the NHL up to that point.
Yep.
And then he got hurt and came back in the playoffs. Was probably the best player, the best offensive player they had in the playoffs. Won the cup. Mm-hmm. And then this season, from the start up to now, he's been the best player in the NHL.
Yeah. He's coming out firing.
And he's done this all on the back of assault allegations and...
Yeah. A closing note, I guess, same sort of thing happened. I mean, not to the caliber of the accusations that went towards Kane, but all the stuff about the Warriors being a lot healthier than every other team last year in the playoffs, because they didn't face anyone that was full health and everything like that. So Steph Curry took that and just destroyed during the season. So I'm thinking they use that as fuel. I'm thinking they use that kind of stuff as fuel.
It's funny because on the flip side, you got to give kudos to Chicago winning the Stanley Cup last year, because if you're going to make that argument saying that, oh, the Warriors were too healthy.
Yeah. That's a quote from LeBron. He actually said that.
Get out of here. If it doesn't matter how hurt you are, just look at the Chicago Blackhawks. They played the last two series, I think, of the playoffs with 4 defensemen.
Yeah.
They rotated 4 defensemen. Mm-hmm. It was like back to the 60s again.
Yeah. So that's no excuse.
And Duncan Keith won a Conn Smythe.
This has been Clubhouse Home Edition.
Yeah.
You've heard some predictions. You've heard some controversy. Yeah. And thanks as always for joining us.
Yeah.
We'll see you maybe next week. We don't know.
It'll be next week.
We don't know. We'll see.
Unless they kick us off.
Thanks for joining, everyone.
So long. Farewell.
You know, this is really your chance to be an armchair quarterback.
You like that?
You're listening to the Clubhouse.